Right, question 3. What have you learned from your audience feedback? Throughout the piece, when we were making it, it's quite useful to be getting audience feedback. Uh, Unfortunately, we didn't really get audience feedback throughout the whole thing. Because there was the 4 of our opinions anyway, we we wanted to get the job done. So we kind of went through it without getting audience feedback on things, just getting each other's opinions on whatever. Looking back now, though, it would have been more useful to us if we had have got it along the way, and it would have meant that things that we look back at now, when people say, "Oh, why didn't you do that?" we could have sorted out at the time when we still had the time to do it. Instead of it coming to now with the finished film and people making, because there's the occasional comment which comes up. When a comment comes up more than once, you know that it should really not be there. Right, so with audience feedback, I thought, as opposed to getting lots of audience feedback all the time, I thought if I get a client, which I thought was exactly the kind of age range we were looking for, but as it was quite a wide age range, I thought I'd choose a client which I thought worked really well. So this is Lucy Schofield, and I think she fits into the target audience really well, and the film would suit to her. So that's why I chose her, and I thought instead of getting loads of people's throughout, I'd use her as my kind of basis to get the more in detail reviews of things on, such as the poster and the review. So yeah, this was just the fact file on her basically, and why I thought it would appeal to her as a film. After I made the poster, I asked her 4 different questions on her opinion on the
film, and if so,
sorry about that. On her opinion of the film, I will turn that down and play that.
why?
So yeah, I got her opinions on the poster and made her pick, and then I also got her what she would think would change about it, basically. Anyway, I also did the same with, if we scroll up, also did the same with the review. Got her opinions on that also.
Do you think the layout of the review is effective?
See, so yeah, I got her more complicated opinions on things. I then also, because I only had the opinion of my one target audience client, so I also thought I'd get a better range of people. So I asked 2 questions to each of the people. The 4 people I asked, 2 were to the higher range of the target audience. They are my parents, Mark and Tracy. And then I also asked 2 people who are 18, Toby and Jack. Jack is not a media student and Toby is, so I thought it was a bit of a range. So I asked the 2 questions, simple questions. I said, what's your favourite thing, and what would you improve? So Jack's answer was for the poster. Jack's answer was he liked the fact that he liked the colours. He thought it was quite intriguing. It was quite dark, and he said thought it was quite intriguing. But he said what he would improve was that he thought the writing was hard to read on the newspaper quotes, basically. So he thought, which also Lucy said that, so that's given me an idea that bit probably would need to be changed, because that's 2 people now that have said that. Toby said he thought the triangle idea was quite intriguing. It made you look at it and wonder what was the relationship between the people. He then said, he thought the black background wasn't that interesting. He thought something could go there, which also I did say in after making it. I thought I could have put something to do with the cars at the beginning, or maybe a briefcase or something like that. Now these are my two older opinions. Tracy, my mum, said she also liked the triangle. She thought that was intriguing. And she said what she didn't like was that George looked separate from the poster because of his square bottom. And I did talk about this when I was actually designing my poster. I meant it as an actual good thing. I tried to make it as though he was separate from the dark, but now when I look back on it after that opinion, I do agree with that fact, as it does look as though, whereas the other two characters are kind of look part of the poster, he looks a little less, he looks a bit more separated, and as though he's been a photo put on as opposed to part of the poster. And then finally my dad, Mark, said he thought Harry in the red was a really good. He said he thought she looked like really interesting and stood out as the front person who he presumed would control the story. Then he also said, what did he say? Oh, he said the as the bad thing, once again, he said the reviews were hard to read, and that was actually the third time that somebody said that to me. Not the reviews, the newspaper quotes. So yeah, I would have to look into changing that if I was to be doing it properly. But as I say, audience feedback is very important, because just from like stuff like that, that does help you vastly to try and improve. I also did the same with the film review. Jack said he thinks it looks professional, but he thinks that it looks too quartered on the actual on the poster. It looks too, not the poster, the film review looks too quartered. So each it looks like there's 4 different sections, which it's not supposed to look like that. Toby said he I didn't actually, this is the first time this was said, but he thought the content was really well written, which was nice to hear. And he said it went really well with the photos. And he said, and then moving on to Tracy, she thought the photos worked really well. She said they're like the opening photo, the main big photo looked really good on the for the rest of the photo, and the colours worked really well. And Mark said the same about the photos, but he said that he thinks I could have separated it up a bit, because it all looks a bit blocked all together, and everything, you can't really, there's no pattern to where all the writing goes. It's all because it's all in this block. So yeah, that was my feedback on my poster and my review. For our actual film, we wanted to get as much feedback as possible, basically, and in as much detail as possible. We wanted information on what they liked, what they didn't like, everything that they thought throughout the whole film, what were their favourite moments, everything like that. So we used Facebook for this. So we sent out a message to, so here what it says, it says, "Hey guys, if you'd be so kind as to quickly watch our film and leave a comment underneath on YouTube, it would be fab." And then it said, "From Harry, George, Becky and Ben." So I'll take you through what a few people said. It gave us quite a good feedback, because a lot of the media students wrote quite a lot. So here Ellie Fletcher says she loved the use of lighting, the briefcase right at the beginning, really liked the over-shoulder shot of George and over the femme fatale. She liked the shot of the foot to head slow reveal in the bedroom scene. Loved the plot and thought it was well acted. The re-evaluation of the era and flashback was the whole thing was well edited. And then she said what she didn't like was that the lighting in the end scene could have been a bit more lit. She likes it, and she liked the contemporary music because she thought it gave a good effect of neo-noir. So there's one. See, as you can see, they are quite in detail. So as there's all these reviews, I could take you through all of them, but there's quite a few and they're quite in depth. So I've made a list of what they did like, didn't like, and some favourite moments in the film. So lots and lots of people said, like pretty much all of them said how much they liked the music. They said it was really neo-noir, especially, they said, in the last two scenes, mainly when George finds Reuben, the dead body, on the floor. They think it was used absolutely perfectly to build up the suspense. Yeah, many people said about the music. Many people said it was well acted. A lot of people said that they liked the fact that we use the conventions of film noir. For example, some of them wrote about the shadows, the Venetian blinds were used, and they said the mirrors as well. 4 different people said that they liked the twist at the end, and they found that really exciting. A lot of people said that they liked how we displayed the femme fatale. We thought the character was very strong. I'll show you. Yeah, they said lots of things that they did like. I'll tell you some of the key shots which they said they were fans of. They liked the foot-to-head reveal of Harry in the bed. They said it was really quite a seductive shot and made her seem really good and displayed the femme fatale really well. The over-shoulder shot in the bar where George is in the background and Harry is on the phone. They said that was really good, using the conventions of film noir there. And it was there. And the other one that they said was the shot through the glass when we're playing pool and I take a shot on the pool table and it's through the glass with whiskey in the bottom of it. Yeah, there is some. I'll just whiz through some other things they said. Locations, well scripted, voiceover, lighting, editing. Oh yeah, they said editing multiple times as well. Plot, they said they liked the flashback. They said the briefcase was well highlighted to show its significance. Now moving on to the dislikes, there was definitely not as many things that they said they disliked, but everybody said at least something that they disliked, and it was quite grouped as to what it was. The biggest thing that they didn't like was the titles at the beginning and at the end, and because of the font that was used. They said it was very basic, very boring, and compared to the rest of the film did not fit in. As our group already actually knew this, because when we were doing it, that was what we did last, and we kind of ran out of time towards the end, and it meant that we had to rush the credits basically, so we didn't get to use an effective font. So yeah, we'd definitely do that again if we had the time. And the other thing, similar thing, was when we ran out of time was in the bar scene. There is sound jumps, which they said was out of place from the rest of the film because the rest of the editing was really good. So yeah, the sound jumps in the bar scene, which we also knew that were there, but we did not have time to change. So yeah, but other things which we didn't know, which are quite nice to know about anyway, is a couple of people said that the lighting in the end scene were a bit too dark, which was fine. We took that on board, and also that people said maybe some more camera movement because a lot of our shots were from points at the same. Yeah, so more camera movement. Alright, so yeah, overall, audience feedback has helped us a lot in the end, but we should have got more as we went through.